welcome you to another tutorial on this course on Django. In this tutorial, we are going to be covering a very interesting topic, that is remigrations. So as I told you earlier about the remigrations, that if you have missed some kind of field and you want to then migrate it to the database, then what you can do is that you can use the concept of remigrations and migrate that specific entity to the database as well. Now, what I wanted to do for you was that when I was in the models.py, I missed the fields for the brackets for this integer field, and I want to do it for the remigration thing. But since my compiler did not allow me to do it because it was generating an error, so that's why I could not do it. So what we can do is that we can, let's say, just create one more field over here, and then we can delete it later. So let's say we want to say, let's say, destination number is the field we want to create, and it is equal to, let's say, integer field. Alright, so this has been created, and we have to write in models with it as well, so that's why it has a red line. Alright, so it is models.integer field. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to run the command python manage.py make migrations, click enter, and now it is asking us to select a fix. Now as I told you that remigrations is basically used to have some fixes if you have missed some kind of entity, or if you have got any kind of error during the first migration and some data has not been migrated, then in the remigrations you can migrate that data. So it wants you to select a kind of fix, provide a one of default now, and you have to just quit and let me add a default in models.py. So I will just go on with one, which is basically the default thing. Click enter and enter one over here, click enter, and it says that the destination field can now be added. And if you just refresh this migration table, you don't need to refresh it, it has been added by default over here. As you can see that the second version of the migrations has been created, and as you can see, if it has a very specific name that says the destination number. So destination is the name of the class over here, destination number is the name of the attribute you want to migrate, and this is basically the fix you want to apply. So now to tell the database that we have this kind of remigration, what you have to do over here is that you have to write in python manage.py migrate, click enter, and it is going to apply the migration. And as you can see that it has only applied a single migration because a single entity has to be migrated over here, the rest has already been migrated. So it says applying calc 00002 underscore destination number, and it is successfully completed. So in the pgadmin4 page, if you just refresh these tables, and you can see that if I refresh this table, if I want to view the data of all the rows, then this table will refresh, and as you can see that we have this last attribute over here as well that says destination underscore number, and the type of it is an integer. So this is basically how you can send data from the Python to this database, and that is the data which you have missed in the first migration. Now you might be thinking that in the first case I had used 3 commands, one of which was about the SQL migrate, and in this second case when I want to do the remigration thing, I had not used that command. Now you need to understand here that when you are applying the remigrations, then you don't have to use that command. Python compiler is going to do it for you itself. So all you have to do is that you have to write in the command make migrations, and then you have to write in the command migrate. That's enough. All the rest is going to be handled by the compilers itself. So I guess that's it with remigrations. You now know how remigrations are applied. So I guess that's it with this tutorial as well. I wanted to cover about how to send data to the table we have created in the database, but I don't want to mix up things for you. I want to make one tutorial for one concept. So that's why I want to quit on with this tutorial, and in the next tutorial I will show you how to send the data to the table we have created in our database. So that's it with this tutorial. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial. You to another tutorial on this course on Django. In this tutorial we are going to be covering a very important and very interesting topic, that is about the admin panel. Now admin panel is basically what is going to be the admin controls, and it is going to be controlled by the controller of this website we are creating over here. So now in the previous tutorials you know that we have created a database table, and as you can see in this we have created a table that is calc destination, and in this we have certain fields as well. Now you can see over here that we don't have any kind of data in these tables. Now we want to send some data to these tables. Now one way is to allow the users to enter the data, and one way is to give some specific person some control and call him the admin and tell him that only you are allowed to send data to this table, and you are going to decide that how many locations, how many destinations are going to be added in this table. So in our case we want that to be handled by a admin controller. Now since in our case we are working on the local host, so that's why we don't have any kind of special kind of admin page. But what Django do is that Django provide us with a local host admin page. So to access that page, what you have to do is that you have to write in python manage.py run server, click enter, and it is going to take some time to run your server. Alright, so your server is finally running. Just copy this address from here, paste it over here, click enter, and this is your Traveler website. Now this is basically the address for your local host, and this is the port number for your local host on which you are operating right now. So to access the admin page, what you have to do is just copy this address from here, paste it over here, and just type in admin over here. Click enter, and you can see that you have got this error message. Now if you just look at this error message, it says that it did not found any kind of such pages. Now the reason behind this is that you don't have any kind of path added for this admin page. So you're going to go into the my first project years.It, and in here you are going to add a path. The first argument is going to be admin slash, and then the second argument is going to be admin.site.urls. Alright, so it's good enough. So if you just go back, refresh this page, alright, I guess my server is not running. Now my server is running. Let's just refresh this. Alright, so you can see that I have got the login Django site admin. Now this is the page which you have not created. Django has created it for you itself. Now if you look at this page, you can see that it is asking you for a username and password, but you might be thinking that I have not created any kind of username and password for my Django admin page. We have created the username and password, but we have created them for the pgadmin4 and for the PostgreSQL. We don't have any kind of usernames, or you can say that you don't have any kind of super users created for running this Django administration page. So what you're going to do is that you will create your super user. So we will just close our server. We will type in the command python manage.py create super user. Click enter, and it is going to ask you for a username. If you leave it as blank, it is going to use my name here, but we are going to use a name, let's say ABC. Click enter, and then it is asking you for a username, so let's just say it is abc@xyz.com. Click enter, and it is going to ask you for the password. Let's say the password is 1234. Click enter, password enter again. It is invisible, but for now the password I have entered is 1234. Click enter again, and you can see that it is giving you certain kind of warnings. The first warning is that this password is too short. The second warning is that this password is too common. The third password is this password is entirely numeric, but we don't care. We are going to bypass the password validation and create user anyway by entering Y, clicking enter, and the super user has been created successfully. So now we are going to run our server. Alright, click enter and our server will be running in a while. Alright, so our server is running without any kind of errors. So just go to the browser window again, refresh this page. Alright, so it is refreshed. So our user is going to be ABC and the password is going to be 1234. So just click login. And you can see that we don't want to save this password, and you can see that you have got certain things over here. Now the users which you have added using some Python commands over here can be added simply after you have created your first user. What you can do is that you can just go on to users and it is going to show you the list of the user. For now we have got only one user, that is ABC, and then you can add this first name, you can add this last name, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. If you just go back and I want to, let's say, add a new user, I can just click on it. I can just enter the username to be, let's say, XYZ this time. The password is going to be 1234 again, and password confirmation. Alright, so it says that your password can be too similar to your personal. I don't care. So let's just say save and add another user. Alright, so it says please correct the error below. Alright, so the two passwords did not match. Let's just supply something good over here and let's just make sure that the two passwords matches this time. Click on save and add another, and it says the user XYZ was added successfully. You may add another user below, but I don't want to, so I'll just go on to authorization and authentication, click on users. And you can see that I've got two users now over here. Now to edit the information of a certain user, for example, I want to edit the information of this user ABC. I'll just click on this user and it is going to ask me for a hell lot of information over here. So I can just specify my first name over here, the second name over here as well. Email address has already been specified. You can just have the permissions as active, as a staff status, and as a super user status. And available groups, chosen user permissions, and you can just allow some available user permissions. As a log entry can add log entry. You can do whatever you want to give to this user as the permissions. So I will just click on save. Alright, so it says some information is missing, I guess. Yes, I don't want that to be changed. If you want to change it, you can just go on with this. So I'll just go back, and basically this is how you can just add users. Now a question arises that what I'm doing on this admin page. Now the answer to this question is that this admin page is basically going to allow me to send data to the database, but how is that going to be? Now we don't have anything over here. We did not visit this site here to create users. We want our model here, or in other words, we want the data for a destination to be filled in here and to be sent to the database. So for that, we have to register our admin page with Django code. So for that, we have a file that is admins.py right here in the application folders. Not this model.py, we have this admin.py, and in admin.py, as you can see that it says register your models here. So whatever models we register over here are going to be visible on the Django admin page. So for now we only got one model, so we are going to write in admin.site.register, and we are going to write in the name of the model, which is destination, which is basically the name of the class we want to register. So as you can see that we've got this red line over here, which means that it's got certain errors because we don't have destination over here. So we are going to write in from all models import destination. Alright, so this is going to solve the error problem and our job is done. Now if you just go on to this admin page, refresh this page. Alright, you can see that we have got this. It says welcome ABC view. So we are going to go to the home page, and as you can see that you have got this column over here that says calc and it says destinations. Now since our model destination is registered with this Django admin page, so that's why you can see this thing over here. Now if you just click on it, for now you have 0 destinations because you don't have added any kind of destination. So you can just click on it, add destination, and you can see that you have got all the attributes available which you have created in your model. The first one is name, then you have this image, then you have the DESC, which is basically the destination message, the price, the offer tag as a boolean. You can check it or you can either not check it, and then you have got this destination number. So all the data you need is available right here. You can just fill in this form, click on save and add another if you want to add another, or if you just want to add a single destination, just click on this save button and it is going to be visible right in your database. So let's just fill it, and let's just fill it with a location that is Naran, and you have to choose a file. So click on choose file. We'll move on to desktop where we have got our images for Naran. Click enter and the file has been uploaded. So let's just add a description message, the place of beauty, let's call it. And the price, let's say, is going to be $800 for this. Let's say we want to give an offer for this as well, and let's say it is destination number 1, or let's just assign it as an ID of 100. So we will just click on save and add another. Alright, so our first destination object was added successfully. Let's just add one more destination as Switzerland. Click on choose file, and this is the image for this, and you have to specify the destination message as well. Let's say this time the destination message is beautiful country, because I don't have got anything in mind for now. Let's say it is going to be from $1,000, and I don't want to give any offer on this, and let's say the ID for this is 200. Click on save, and as you can see that it says the destination object 2 was added successfully. Now if I just go into my compiler, my server is running. Alright, so let's just go on to the pgadmin4 and let's just refresh this by viewing the data for all the rows. Alright, so it is loading. Alright, as you can see over here that it was run successfully, and as you can see that we have got 2 destinations now. We have got Naran and Switzerland in our database now, which were sent by registering the model with our Django admin page, and then using that Django admin page we used to send the data from that Django admin page to the database. And as you can see in the entries of this table's calc destination, you can see the 2 entries which you have done over there. You can add any number of entries. For example, I want to add one more destination, so I will just go on here, click on add destination, and let's say the 3rd destination I want to add is Turkey. Click on choose file, click on this folder, click on, and let's say a place to remember. I don't know why it is to be remembered, but let's just add it because I don't have got anything in mind for now. Let's just click in this for the offer, and let's just assign it the ID 350. Let's say is the ID. Just click on save. And as you can see that you have got 3 destination objects over here now. If I just go on to the pgadmin4 page, you can see that we still have the 2 entries because we don't have refreshed our table. So let's just refresh it. Loading, 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 loading. And you can see that you have got 3 tables over here. You have got the entry for the Turkey here as well. You've got the image file as well. You've got the destination message as well. You've got the price as well. You've got the offer as true, false, true over here, and you've got the destination numbers as well over here. So this is how basically using the Django admin page you can send the data to the database, and that Django page has to be registered here in the admin.py file of the application. So I guess that's it with this tutorial. The purpose of this tutorial was to show you how you can use the Django admin panel page, and using that Django admin panel page how you can send the data to the database tables. So that's it with this tutorial. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.